And he goes, oh, I'm switching to manual. And she looks at him like, what do you mean manual? And he's like, you know, she's so surprised that he's trying to do that. Hey everybody, welcome back to Paper Favors. You're joining me this week to talk about some tech, and I want to get straight into this one. Of course, we're joined by the book. He's always here. All right, that's just what he does. I can't get rid of him. That's actually an interesting comment that I've made there. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, driverless cars, right? I think that this is one of those topics where people always, or whenever you see it spoken about, people are always talking about it as though it has this one specific use case. But I'm going to try and argue with you today the fact that it's got so much more potential than I think really anyone lets on, and even in films that are super futuristic. All right, so just to take a good example, one of my favorite films, IRobot, there's this scene in it where he's with the scientist, and you know, there's all sorts of stuff going on in it. I think they're in this tunnel and the robots are coming after them and all that, and he goes, oh, I'm switching to manual. And she looks at him like, what do you mean manual? And he's like, you know, she's so surprised that he's trying to do that. And I think that was set about now, actually. So, you know, we're not there yet. But my point is, you know, in the future, we probably are going to get to that point. It might take 100 years, it might take 200. But at some point, I think it will happen, okay? So throughout this video, we're going to be talking as if, well, we're going to have to assume that it is possible to create cars that can, at will, you know, you basically point on the map and it will just go there safely, you know, no problem, no breakdowns, doesn't crash, you know, all that stuff, right? I think that's another video, we can go into that a lot more deeply. This one though, I'm just talking about the use case, right? So let's take it as is. Driverless cars, the first thing you think is you get in and you basically just sit there like this. You don't touch the wheel, you don't change gears, you don't press the pedals, you just sit there, and eventually you're at your destination, right? That is to me, that is the tip of the iceberg. That's a tiny, tiny part of what these things can do for us. So let's push that a little bit further then. So if you know you never have to touch the wheel or the pedals, well, get rid of them. Why would we need them at all? So cars of the future, you know, when this technology is fully ready, they're probably not even going to have steering wheel or pedals, or they may have like a fold away one or something buried deep within, you know, in an absolute emergency, maybe you could press a button and it brings the steering wheel out. But, you know, if you look at, you know, iPhones, you know, they got rid of that audio jack, right? The 3.5mm headphone jack, it's gone, right? So you see that progression, see how that's going to go, right? So now you've got a car with no controls, so you're saving space. Let's push that a bit more. Okay, how about instead of having, you know, the normal seating layout, the driver, passenger, and the seats in the back, just clear all that, rotate the seats in, and almost have it like the back of one of those minivan taxis. You know, when we used to be able to go out to like clubs and stuff. I remember that. But you know, back in the day when we used to be able to do that, you know, you'd get in a taxi with like a load of your friends, you'll be facing each other, you have the driver here, and you could all just sit and chat, and you're all looking at each other, using all the space in there for room, right? For people or stuff or whatever. So now you've got that. And actually, I went to visit the Victoria and Albert Museum some time ago. They had an exhibition on cars, and this was the design for one of them. Like literally, it was, I think it was completely symmetrical. So the front and the back, you know, you couldn't really tell the difference. And it was all seats facing inwards, with a big screen behind one set of passengers. So the idea there would be, you know, that's where you could, you know, tell it where to go. You put on the map, oh, I want to go to London or Milton Keynes or Manchester, Birmingham, you know, wherever you want to go, you plot and it'd do it. But let's push that again. So, you know, now we've agreed that you can do anything with the space. You know, put a bed in it, right? Where if you got a long haul trip, stick a bed in it, you know, go to sleep, wake up in Spain or, you know, wherever you wanted it to go, right? Or, you know, maybe you're going to Scotland or anywhere, or in America. I mean, it works probably best there because so much land, and you know, getting around America, you know, I think you either fly between states. The trains aren't used that much, I don't think, but correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, imagine that. You could go, oh, we're going on a holiday to Florida, and so you're in, forgive me, I don't know many states nearby, but you know, say 1,000-mile drive, you could go to sleep and the car's got you halfway there and you wake up, or maybe it's got you all the way there, or maybe you go to sleep and it takes you to the next kind of you know, place on the journey, or you know, you could play cards in the back or whatever, or go to bed. So many things, right? Push it again, right? So what if we're not even in the car? All right, what does that mean? Well, what we've just said is that we're now in a world, in our, you know, 20 years, whenever we said it would happen, where the car can just do it all itself, right? So what if deliveries, why not just send your car to go and get your shopping for you? You know, you could do that. You could send your car to go pick up any order you had. So maybe that will completely change the way, you know, like Amazon deliveries are done, or, you know, any mail service really. Just send your car to do it, especially if we've got really cheap electricity by that point, or renewable, you know, just send your car. What if you want to meet up? Maybe you've got an elderly relative or something, or just any relative for that matter. You could just send your car to go and collect them and bring them to you for Sunday dinner, or, you know, any meet-up event. You know, imagine this stuff, guys. Your car, actually what we've all agreed with here is you have essentially a personal chauffeur that never gets tired, never wants any money, never angry, does exactly what you want, and yeah, forever. And that's what driverless cars will be. You know, it's not just about, you know, obviously in the near term, it is about making sure that they, you know, they can negotiate roads and you know, deal with the complexities of driving that you can't predict, like when people pull out on you, or when people don't indicate, and you know, all that stuff that comes with it. But yeah, when it finally lands, it's going to change everything. You know, you will just get in your car and it will just take you, and there you go. So yeah, if you enjoyed that, let me know. If you've got any other use cases that, you know, I think I pushed that pretty far, but I'm going to save some others that I've been thinking about for a bit, maybe a second video. If you've got other use cases for driverless cars, let me know. And in follow-up videos, you know, I'll cover more of the ethics with it. You know, how much safer do they need to be, and also one of the bigger problems that it's going to cause is there's so many jobs in driving at the moment. You know, lorries, taxis, just to name a few. It's going to, you know, when this comes in, that's going to cause a real problem there. You know, and we're going to need a good way to re-skill people to do other things. So yeah, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. Cheers.